Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sahih Al Bukhari, Chapter 2, Belief. Hadith number 7. Narrated Ibn Umar. Allah's Messenger said, Islam is based on the following 5 principles. 1. To testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and Muhammad is Allah's Messenger. 2. To offer compulsory congregational prayers dutifully and perfectly. 3. To pay zakah. 4. To perform hajj. 5. To observe fast during the month of Ramadan. Hadith number 8. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, Faith, that is belief, consists of more than 60 branches, and haya is a part of faith. Hadith number 9. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr. The Prophet said, a Muslim is the one who avoids harming Muslims with his tongue and hands, and muhajir, that is immigrant, is the one who gives up, abandons all what Allah has forbidden. Hadith number 10. Narrated Abu Musa. Some people asked Allah's Messenger, whose Islam is the best? He replied, one who avoids harming the Muslims with his tongue and the hands. Hadith number 11. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr. A man asked the Prophet, what sort of deeds or what qualities of Islam are good? The Prophet replied, to feed the poor and greet those whom you know and those whom you do not know. Hadith number 12. Narrated Anas. The Prophet said, none of you will have faith till he wishes for his Muslim brother what he likes for himself. Hadith number 13. Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, by him in whose hands my soul is, none of you will have faith till he loves me more than his children and father. Hadith number 14. Narrated Anas. The Prophet said, none of you will have faith till he loves me more than his father, his children, and all mankind. Hadith number 15. Narrated Anas. The Prophet said, whoever possesses the following 3 qualities will have the sweetness of faith. 1. The one to whom Allah and His Messenger becomes dearer than anything else. 2. Who loves a person and he loves him only for Allah's sake. 3. Who hates to revert to atheism, disbelief, as he hates to be thrown into the fire. Hadith number 16. Narrated Anas. The Prophet said, love for the Ansar is sign of faith, and hatred for the Ansar is sign of hypocrisy. Hadith number 17. Narrated Ubadah bin As-Samit, who took part in the battle of Badr and was a naqib, that is a person heading a group of 6 people. On the night of Al-Aqaba pledge, Allah's Messenger said, while a group of his companions were around him, swear allegiance to me for 1. Not to join anything in worship along with Allah. 2. Not to steal. 3. Not to commit illegal sexual intercourse. 4. Not to kill your children. 5. Not to accuse an innocent person. 6. Not to be disobedient to good deeds. The Prophet added, whoever among you fulfills his pledge will be rewarded by Allah, and whoever indulges in any one of them and gets the punishment in this world, that punishment will be an expiation for that sin. And if one indulges in any of them and Allah conceals his sin, it is up to him, that is Allah, to forgive or punish him in the hereafter. Ubadah bin As-Samit added, so we swore allegiance for those. Hadith number 18, narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. Allah's Messenger said, "A time will come that the best property of a Muslim will be a sheep, which he will take on the top of the mountains and the places of rainfall, so as to flee with his religion from the afflictions." Hadith number 19, narrated Aisha. Whenever Allah's Messenger ordered the Muslims to do something, he used to order them deeds which were easy for them to do, according to their strength and endurance. They said, "O Allah's Messenger, we are not like you. Allah has forgiven your past and future sins." So Allah's Messenger became angry, and it was apparent on his face. He said, "I am the most fearing of Allah, and know Allah better than all of you do." Hadith number 20, narrated Anas. The Prophet said, "Whoever possesses the following three qualities will taste the sweetness of faith. 1. The one to whom Allah and His Messenger become dearer than anything else. 2. Who loves a person and he loves him only for Allah's sake. 3. Who hates to revert to disbelief, atheism, after Allah has saved him out from it, and he hates to be thrown in the fire." Hadith 21, narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. The Prophet said, "When the people of the paradise will enter paradise and the people of hell will go to hell, Allah will order those who have had faith equal to the weight of a grain of mustard seed to be taken out from the hell. So they will be taken out, but by then they will be blackened. Then they will be put in the river of Haya, rain, or Hayat, life, and they will revive like a grain that grows near the bank of a flood channel. Don't you see that it comes out yellow and twisted?" Hadith number 22, narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. Allah's Messenger said, "While I was sleeping, I saw in a dream some people wearing shirts, of which some were reaching up to the breasts only, while the others were even shorter than that. Umar bin al-Khattab was shown wearing a shirt that he was dragging. The people asked, 'How did you interpret it, O Allah's Messenger?' He replied, 'It is the religion.'" Hadith number 23, narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Once Allah's Messenger passed by an Ansari man who was admonishing to his brother regarding Haya. On that, Allah's Messenger said, "Leave him, as Haya is a part of faith." Hadith number 24, narrated Ibn Umar. Allah's Messenger said, "I have been ordered by Allah to fight against the people until they testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and that Muhammad is Allah's Messenger, and offer the prayers perfectly and give obligatory charity. So if they perform that, then they save their lives and property from me, except for Islamic laws, and then their reckoning accounts will be done by Allah." Hadith number 25, narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger was asked, "What is the best deed?" He replied, "To believe in Allah and His Messenger." The questioner then asked, "What is the next?" He replied, "To participate in jihad, in Allah's cause." The questioner asked again, "What is next?" He replied, "To perform Hajj Mabrur, that is, accepted Hajj." Hadith number 26, narrated Sa'd. Allah's Messenger distributed zakah amongst a group of people while I was sitting there, but Allah's Messenger left a man whom I thought the best of the lot. I asked, O Allah's Messenger, why have you left that person? By Allah, I regard him as a faithful believer. The Prophet commented, or merely a Muslim. I remained quiet for a while, but I could not help repeating my question because of what I knew about him. And then I asked Allah's Messenger, why have you left so and so? By Allah, he is the faithful believer. The Prophet again said, or merely a Muslim. And I could not help repeating my question because of what I knew about him. Then the Prophet said, O Sa'd, I give to a person while another is dearer to me, for the fear that he might be thrown on his face in the fire by Allah. Hadith number 27. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr. A person asked Allah's Messenger, what sort of deeds in or what qualities of Islam are good? He replied, to feed the poor and greet those whom you know and those whom you do not know. Hadith number 22. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. Allah's Messenger said, while I was sleeping I saw in a dream some people wearing shirts, of which some were reaching up to the breasts, only while the others were even shorter than that. Umar bin al-Khattab was shown wearing a shirt that he was dragging. The people asked, how did you interpret it, O Allah's Messenger? He replied, it is the religion. Hadith number 23. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Once Allah's Messenger passed by an Ansari man who was admonishing to his brother regarding Haya. On that Allah's Messenger said, leave him, as Haya is a part of faith. Hadith number 24. Narrated Ibn Umar. Allah's Messenger said, I have been ordered by Allah to fight against the people until they testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and that Muhammad is Allah's Messenger, and offer the prayers perfectly and give obligatory charity. So if they perform that, then they save their lives and property from me, except for Islamic laws, and then their reckoning accounts will be done by Allah. Hadith number 25. Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger was asked, what is the best deed? He replied, to believe in Allah and His Messenger. The questioner then asked, what is the next? He replied, to participate in jihad, in Allah's cause. The questioner asked again, what is next? He replied, to perform Hajj Mabrur, that is, accepted Hajj. Hadith number 26. Narrated Sa'd. Allah's Messenger distributed zakah amongst a group of people while I was sitting there, but Allah's Messenger left a man whom I thought the best of the lot. I asked, O Allah's Messenger, why have you left that person? By Allah, I regard him as a faithful believer. The Prophet commented, or merely a Muslim. I remained quiet for a while, but I could not help repeating my question because of what I knew about him. And then I asked Allah's Messenger, why have you left so and so? By Allah, he is the faithful believer. The Prophet again said, or merely a Muslim. And I could not help repeating my question because of what I knew about him. Then the Prophet said, O Sa'd, I give to a person while another is dearer to me, for the fear that he might be thrown on his face in the fire by Allah. Hadith number 27. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr. A person asked Allah's Messenger, what sort of deeds in or what qualities of Islam are good? He replied, to feed the poor and greet those whom you know and those whom you do not know. Hadith number 22, narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. Allah's Messenger said, while I was sleeping, I saw in a dream some people wearing shirts, of which some were reaching up to the breasts, only while the others were even shorter than that. Umar bin al-Khattab was shown wearing a shirt that he was dragging. The people asked, how did you interpret it, O Allah's Messenger? He replied, it is the religion. Hadith number 23, narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Once Allah's Messenger passed by an Ansari man who was admonishing to his brother regarding Haya. On that Allah's Messenger said, leave him, as Haya is a part of faith. Hadith number 24, narrated Ibn Umar. Allah's Messenger said, I have been ordered by Allah to fight against the people until they testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and that Muhammad is Allah's Messenger, and offer the prayers perfectly and give obligatory charity. So if they perform that, then they save their lives and property from me, except for Islamic laws, and then their reckoning accounts will be done by Allah. Hadith number 25, narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger was asked, what is the best deed? He replied, to believe in Allah and His Messenger. The questioner then asked, what is the next? He replied, to participate in jihad, in Allah's cause. The questioner asked again, what is next? He replied, to perform Hajj Mabrur, that is, accepted Hajj. Hadith number 26, narrated Sa'd. Allah's Messenger distributed zakah amongst a group of people while I was sitting there, but Allah's Messenger left a man whom I thought the best of the lot. I asked, O Allah's Messenger, why have you left that person? By Allah, I regard him as a faithful believer. The Prophet commented, or merely a Muslim. I remained quiet for a while, but I could not help repeating my question because of what I knew about him. And then I asked Allah's Messenger, why have you left so and so? By Allah, he is the faithful believer. The Prophet again said, or merely a Muslim. And I could not help repeating my question because of what I knew about him. Then the Prophet said, O Sa'd, I give to a person while another is dearer to me, for the fear that he might be thrown on his face in the fire by Allah. Hadith number 27, narrated Abdullah bin Amr. A person asked Allah's Messenger, what sort of deeds in or what qualities of Islam are good? He replied, to feed the poor and greet those whom you know and those whom you do not know. Hadith number 28, narrated Ibn Abbas. The Prophet said, I was shown the hellfire, and that the majority of its dwellers were women who were ungrateful. It was asked, do they disbelieve in Allah? He replied, they are ungrateful to their husbands and are ungrateful for the favors and the good done to them. If you have always been good to one of them, and then she sees something in you not of her liking, she will say, I have never received any good from you. Hadith number 29, narrated Al-Marur. At Al-Rabada, I met Abu Dar, who was wearing a cloak, and his slave too was wearing a similar one. I asked about the reason for it. He replied, I abused a person by calling his mother with bad names. The Prophet said to me, O Abu Dar, Did you abuse him by calling his mother with bad names? You still have some characteristics of ignorance. Your slaves are your brothers, and Allah has put them under your command. So whoever has a brother under his command should feed him of what he eats and dress him of what he wears. Do not ask them to do things beyond their capacity, and if you do so, then help them. Hadith number 30, narrated Al-Ahnaf bin Qais. While I was going to help this man, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Abu Bakr met me and asked, Where are you going? I replied, I am going to help that person. He said, Go back, for I have heard Allah's apostle saying, when two Muslims meet each other with their swords, both of murderers as well as the murderer will go to the hellfire. I said, O Allah's Messenger, it is all right for the murderer, but what about the murdered one? Allah's Messenger replied, he surely had the intention to kill his companion. Hadith number 31, narrated Abdullah. When the following verses was revealed, it is those who believe and confuse not their belief with the wrong, worshipping others besides Allah. That's Surah 6, verse 83. The companions of Allah's Messenger asked, Who is amongst us who had not done injustice wrong? Allah revealed, No doubt, joining others in worship with Allah is a great injustice wrong indeed. That is Surah 31, verse 13. Narrated Abu Huraira, the Prophet said, The signs of a hypocrite are three. First, whenever he speaks, he tells a lie. Second, whenever he promises, he always breaks it. Third, if you trust him, he proves to be dishonest. Hadith number 33, narrated Abdullah bin Amr. The Prophet said, Whoever has the following four characteristics will be a pure hypocrite, and whoever has one of the following four characteristics will have one characteristic of hypocrisy unless and until he gives it up. 1. Whenever he is entrusted, he betrays. 2. Whenever he speaks, he tells a lie. 3. Whenever he makes a covenant, he proves treacherous. 4. Whenever he quarrels, he behaves in a very imprudent, evil, and insulting manner. Hadith number 34, narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, Whoever establishes the prayers on the night of Qadr out of sincere faith and hoping to attain Allah's rewards, not to show off, then all his past sins will be forgiven. Hadith number 35, narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, The person who participates in the holy battles in Allah's cause and nothing compels him to do so except belief in Allah and His Messenger, he will be compensated by Allah either with a reward or booty if he survives, or will be admitted to paradise if he killed in the battle as martyr. Had I not found it difficult for my followers, then I would not remain behind any Sariyah going for jihad, and I would have allowed to be martyred in Allah's cause, and then made alive, and then martyred, and then made alive, and then again martyred in His cause. Hadith number 36, narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, Whoever establishes prayers during the night of Ramadan faithfully out of sincere faith and hoping to attain Allah's rewards, not for showing off, all his past sins will be forgiven. Hadith number 37, narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, Whoever observes fasts during the month of Ramadan out of sincere faith and hoping to attain Allah's rewards, then all his past sins will be forgiven. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, "Religion is very easy, and whoever overburdens himself in his religion will not be able to continue in that way. So you should not be extremists, but try to be near the perfection and receive the good tidings that you will be rewarded, and gain strength by worshipping in the mornings and the nights." Hadith number 39. Narrated Al-Bara. When the Prophet came to Medina, he stayed first with his grandfathers or maternal uncles from Ansar. He offered his prayers facing Baitul Maqdis, Jerusalem, for 16 or 17 months. But he wished that he could pray facing the Kaaba at Mecca. The first prayer which he offered facing the Kaaba was the Asr prayer, in the company of some people. Then one of those who had offered that prayer with him came out and passed by some people in the mosque who were bowing during their prayers, facing Jerusalem. He said, addressing them, "By Allah, I testify that I have prayed with Allah's Messenger facing Mecca," that is Kaaba. Hearing that, those people changed the direction towards the Kaaba immediately. Jews and the people of the scriptures used to be pleased to see the Prophet facing Jerusalem in the prayers. But when he changed his direction towards the Kaaba during the prayers, they disapproved of it. Al-Bara added, "Before we changed our direction towards the Kaaba in prayers, some Muslims had died or had been killed, and we did not know what to say about them regarding their prayers. Allah then revealed, 'And Allah would never make your faith to be lost.'" You can find that in chapter 2, verse 143. Hadith number 40. Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, "If any one of you improve his Islamic religion, then his good deeds will be rewarded 10 times to 700 times for each good deed, and a bad deed will be recorded as it is." Hadith 41. Narrated Aisha. Once a prophet came while a woman was sitting with me. He said, "Who is she?" I replied, "She's so and so," and told him about her excessive praying. He said disapprovingly, "Do good deeds which is within your capacity, as Allah does not get tired of giving rewards. But surely you will get tired, and the best deed in the sight of Allah that is done regularly." Hadith number 42. Narrated Anas. The Prophet said, "Whoever said, 'None has the right to be worshipped but Allah,' and has in his heart good faith equal to the weight of a barley grain, will be taken out of hell. And whoever said, 'None has the right to be worshipped but Allah,' and has in his heart good faith equal to the weight of a wheat grain, will be taken out of hell. And whoever said, 'None has the right to be worshipped but Allah,' and has in his heart good faith equal to the weight of an atom, will be taken out of hell." Hadith number 43. Narrated Umar bin al-Khattab. Once a Jew said to me, "O chief of believers, there is a verse in your holy book which is revealed by all of you Muslims, and had it been revealed to us, we would have taken that day on which it was revealed as a day of celebration." Umar bin al-Khattab asked, "Which is that verse?" The Jew replied, "This day I have perfected your religion for you, completed my favors upon you, and have chosen for you Islam as your religion." That is chapter 5, verse 3. Umar replied, "No doubt. We know when and where this verse was revealed to the Prophet. It was Friday, and the Prophet was standing at Arafah. Hadith number 44. Narrated Talha bin Ubaidullah. A man came from Najd with unkempt hair to Allah's Messenger, and we have heard his loud voice, but could not understand what he was saying till he came near, and then we came to know that he was asking about Islam. Allah's Messenger said, "You have to offer prayers perfectly 5 times in a day and night." The man asked, "Is there any more praying?" Allah's Messenger replied, "No, but if you want to offer the Nawafil prayers, you can." Allah's Messenger further said to him, "You have to observe fasts during the month of Ramadan." The man asked, "Is there any more fasting?" Allah's Messenger replied, "No, but if you want to observe Nawafil fasts, you can." Then Allah's Apostle further said to him, "You have to pay zakat, that is obligatory charity." The man asked, "Is there anything other than zakat for me to pay?" Allah's Messenger replied, "No, unless you want to give alms of your own." And then that man retreated, saying, "By Allah, I will neither do less nor more than this." Allah's Messenger said, "If what he said is true, then he will be successful." Hadith number 45. Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, "A believer who accompanies the funeral of a Muslim out of sincere faith and hoping to attain Allah's reward, and remains with it till the funeral prayer is offered and the burial ceremonies are over, he will return with the reward of 2 qirats. Each qirat is like size of Mount Uhud. He who offers the funeral prayer only and returns before the burial will return with the reward of 1 qirat only." Hadith number 46. Narrated Abdullah. The Prophet said, "Abusing a Muslim is fusuq, that is an evil doing, and killing him is kufr, that is disbelief." Narrated Ubadah bin As-Samit. Allah's Messenger went out to inform the people about the date of the night of decree, that is Al-Qadr. But there happened a quarrel between 2 Muslim men. The Prophet said, "I came out to inform you about the date of the night of Al-Qadr, but as so-and-so and so-and-so quarreled, its knowledge was taken away, I forgot it, and maybe it was better for you. Now look for it in the 7th, the 9th, and the 5th of the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan." Ar-Rahman Hadith number 47. Narrated Abu Huraira. One day, while the Prophet was sitting in the company of some people, the angel Gabriel came and asked, "What is faith?" Allah's Messenger replied, "Faith is to believe in Allah, His angels, the meeting with Him, His messengers, and to believe in the resurrection." Then he further asked, "What is Islam?" Allah's Messenger replied, "To worship Allah alone and none else, to offer prayers perfectly, to pay compulsory charity zakat, and to observe fasts during the month of Ramadan." Then he further asked, "What is ihsan, that is perfection?" Allah's Messenger replied, "To worship Allah as if you see Him, and if you cannot achieve this state of devotion, then you must consider that He is looking at you." Then he further asked, "When will the hour be established?" Allah's Messenger replied, "The answer has no better knowledge than the questioner, but I will inform you about its signs. 1. When a slave lady gives birth to her master. 2. When shepherds of black camels start boasting and competing with the others in construction of higher buildings. And the hour is one of the 5 things which nobody knows except Allah." The Prophet then recited, "Verily, with Allah alone is the knowledge of the hour." That is in chapter 31, verse 34. Then that man Gabriel left, and the Prophet asked his companions to call him back, but they could not see him. Then the Prophet said, "That was Gabriel, who came to teach the people their religion." Abu Abdullah said, "The Prophet considered all that as a part of faith." Hadith number 48. Narrated Abdullah bin Abbas. I was informed by Abu Sufyan that Heraclius said to him, "I asked you whether followers of Muhammad were increasing or decreasing. You replied that they were increasing, and in fact this is the way of true faith, till it is complete in all respects. I further asked you whether there was anybody who, after embracing his religion, Islam, became displeased. You replied in the negative, and in fact this is a sign of true faith. When its delight enters the heart and mixes with them completely, nobody can be displeased with it." Hadith number 49. Narrated An-Nu'man bin Bashir. I heard Allah's Messenger saying, "Both legal and illegal things are evident, but in between them there are doubtful, suspicious things, and most of people have no knowledge about them. So whoever saves themselves from these suspicious things, save their religion and their honor. And whoever indulges in those suspicious things is like a shepherd who grazes his animals near the hima, that is private pasture of someone else, and at any moment he is liable to get in it. O people, be aware, every king has a hima, and the hima of Allah on the earth is his illegal forbidden things. Be aware, there is a piece of flesh in the body. If it becomes good, the whole body becomes good. But if it gets spoiled, the whole body gets spoiled. And that is the heart." Hadith 50. Narrated Abu Jamrah. I used to sit with Ibn Abbas, and he made me sit on his sitting place. He requested me to stay with him in order that he might give me a share from his property, so I stayed with him for 2 months. Once he told me that the delegation of the tribe of Abdul Qais came to the Prophet, and the Prophet asked them, "Who are you?" They replied, "We are from the tribe of Rabi'a." Then the Prophet said to them, "Welcome, O people of Abdul Qais. Neither will you have disgrace, nor will you regret." They said, "O Allah's Messenger, we cannot come to you except in the sacred month, and there is an infidel tribe of Mudar intervening between you and us. So please order us to do something good, so that we may inform our people whom we have left behind, and that we may enter paradise by acting on them." Then they asked about the drinks, what is legal and what is illegal. The Prophet ordered them to do 4 things and forbade them from 4 things. He ordered them to believe in Allah alone, and asked them, "Do you know what is meant by believing in Allah alone?" They replied, "Allah and His Messenger know better." Thereupon the Prophet said, "It means 1. To testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah alone, and Muhammad is Allah's Messenger. 2. To offer prayers perfectly. 3. To pay zakat. 4. To observe fast during the month of Ramadan. 5. To pay al-khumus, that is 1/5 of the booty, to be given in Allah's cause." Then he forbade them 4 things, namely Hantam, Dubba, Naqir, and Muzaffar or Muqayyar. These were the names of pots in which alcoholic drinks were prepared. The Prophet mentioned the container of wine, and he meant the wine itself. The Prophet further said to them, "Memorize them, these instructions, and convey them to the people whom you have left behind." Hadith 51. Narrated Umar bin al-Khattab. Allah's Messenger said, "The reward of deeds depend upon the intention, and every person will get reward according to what he has intended. So whoever emigrated for Allah and His Messenger, then his immigration was for Allah and His Messenger. and whoever immigrated for worldly benefits or for a woman to marry, his immigration was for what he immigrated for. Hadith 52. Narrated Abu Mas'ud, the Prophet said, if a man spends on his family with the intention of having a reward from Allah, sincerely for Allah's sake, then it is kind of almsgiving in reward for him. Hadith 53. Narrated Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas, Allah's Messenger said, you will be rewarded for whatever you spend for Allah's sake, even it were a morsel which you put in your wife's mouth. Hadith 54. Narrated Jarir bin Abdullah, I gave the pledge of allegiance to Allah's Messenger for the following: 1. Offer prayers perfectly. 2. Pay the zakat. 3. And be sincere and true to every Muslim. Hadith 55. Narrated Ziyad bin Alaqa, I heard Jarir bin Abdullah praising Allah on the day when Al-Mughira bin Shuba died. He, Jarir, got up on the pulpit and thanked and praised Allah and said, be afraid of Allah alone, who has none along with him to be worshipped. You should be calm and quiet till the new chief comes to you, and he will come to you soon. Ask Allah's forgiveness for your mischief, because he himself loved to forgive others. Jarir added, Amma ba'du, now then, I went to the Prophet and said, I give my pledge of allegiance to you for Islam. The Prophet conditioned my pledge for me to be sincere and true to every Muslim, so I gave my pledge to him for this. By the Lord of this mosque, I am sincere and true to you Muslims. Then Jarir asked for Allah's forgiveness and came down from the pulpit.